1.2 million?
Yeah.
And have you received any assistance?
No.
Black farmers were promised billions in debt relief, but never got the money due to legal challenges. In our prime focus tonight, Rachel Scott investigates what's being done to keep the country's few remaining black farmers in business. And
the road hasn't always been yellow. I take it all in, and I'm glad and thankful that I've survived, because there could have been a time where I couldn't have survived.
she was known as the little girl with the big voice. Grammy-winning icon Stephanie Mills has wowed audiences from the church choir to Broadway to the Billboard 100. I sit down with her to discuss her life, legacy, and the latest project she's taking on. Good evening, everyone. I'm Lindsay Davis. Thank you so much for streaming with us. We're following those stories and much more, including a deadly dust storm that triggered a series of catastrophic crashes involving dozens of vehicles in Illinois. Plus, the manhunt now underway in Texas days after a mass shooting that left at least 5 dead. And it's fashion's biggest night, the Super Bowl of runways, as the Met Gala gets underway tonight. We look at the glam behind it and the fashion trend across the country that's running counter to the event by the numbers. Our correspondents are fanned out across the country covering those stories and much more for us tonight. But we do begin with that major deadly dust storm in the Midwest and the severe weather making its way across the country. Zero visibility for drivers in Illinois as the dust storm rolled in. It happened earlier today on I-55, about 25 miles south of Springfield. At least 30 people were transported to a local hospital, and up to 80 vehicles were involved in the crash, including 2 semi-trucks that caught on fire. This comes after an EF3 tornado touched down at Virginia Beach this weekend. You can see the damage it left behind. A major soaking throughout the Northeast, and in Wisconsin, snow in May. More rain and severe weather is on the way. Ginger Z will have the forecast in just a moment. But first, Faith Abube leads us off with more on the dust storm and severe weather across the country.
Tonight, the deadly pileup in the Midwest, claiming at least 6 lives. A major dust storm creating zero visibility conditions on I-55 south of Springfield, Illinois. Between 40 to 60 passenger cars and about 30 commercial vehicles crashing on the highway.
At this time, we have reports of more than 30 people being transported to multiple area hospitals.
The interstate shut down, traffic backed up for miles. The swirling dust caused by high winds kicking up dirt from fields.
Nothing in my 24-year career that I can recall having something as severe as this.
It's all part of the same storm system that spawned this tornado hundreds of miles away in Virginia Beach Sunday. Families now cleaning up major damage. And over here, a large tree landing on that rooftop. It's one of at least 115 properties that city officials say suffered extensive damage from the strong winds from the EF3 tornado. That twister packing winds up to 145 miles an hour. The city declaring a state of emergency.
I ran in and got everybody in the closet and just hoped and prayed that our house was going to survive something like that.
That's a tornado.
The storms, part of a wild weekend up and down the East Coast. Cars flipping over in Palm Beach County, Florida. This driver helpless as the storm overtakes his vehicle. As the storms moved north, more than 5 inches of torrential rain in spots, inundating these cars in New York City.
Just some incredible scenes there. Faith Abube joins us now from Virginia Beach, where officials say it's a miracle no one was injured or killed. But Faith, going back to that dust storm, any word when the interstate is set to reopen?
Well, Lindsay, that massive pileup on Interstate 55 near Springfield, Illinois, authorities are still trying to conduct a secondary search of those vehicles. They expect that highway to remain closed until at least Tuesday. Lindsay?
All right, Faith, our thanks to you. Let's get right to ABC's chief meteorologist, Ginger Z, who's tracking it all for us tonight. Hey, Ginger.
Hey, Lindsay, you know, I've got to show you, with the dust storm that kicked up that big-time car pileup in Illinois, we still have wind advisories. Their gusts were above 40 miles per hour, and that's the same thing you can see anywhere highlighted there in brown. Western Illinois, you've got Davenport back to Des Moines. So there are also quite a few of these wind advisories and even some alerts for flooding where you've got heavy snow and rain. In Michigan, the Upper Peninsula, they had more than 14 inches of snow with this really pesky low. That's what meteorologist Mel Griffin kept calling it, because it is going to stick around for the next couple days. It's going to be slow moving, and it's just going to be showery. If you're in high elevations of Appalachia, you may end up with some frozen precipitation. But for most of us, it's going to be just these rounds of showers after a super soaker of a weekend. So it's just going to keep adding up. And as she said, pesky, because it sticks around for this first part of our week. Now you go west and you know that they've had such an epic winter season, but now 2 days in a row, Salt Lake City, for example, has had record high temperatures. So they're seeing a lot of that melt. The flood alerts are up, but you also have wind advisories from Las Vegas back through parts of desert California for gusts there of up to 45 miles per hour. Lindsay?
All right, Ginger Z, our thanks to you. Next tonight, the desperate manhunt for the suspect who killed 5 of his neighbors in Cleveland, Texas. The reward now stands at $80,000, but investigators say the trail has gone cold. Among the dead, a 9-year-old boy. There are new details about the suspect, including multiple deportations and jailed on a DUI charge. So how did he get an assault-style weapon? ABC's Matt Rivers is on the scene.
Tonight, hundreds of officers on the ground looking for this man, who authorities say shot and killed 5 neighbors after an argument, including a mother and her 9-year-old son.
We're asking everyone for your help so we can bring this suspect, or this monster, I will call him, to justice.
Suspect Francisco Oropesa is a Mexican national. A source familiar with the investigation telling ABC News that he was deported 4 separate times from the U.S. and served jail time for a DWI in 2012. The shooting unfolding late Friday night in Cleveland, north of Houston. Authorities say Oropesa was outside his house firing an AR-15 for fun. His next-door neighbor, Wilson Garcia, says he and others asked him to stop because it scared his baby. But instead of putting his weapon down, authorities say Oropesa stormed out of his yard, came here to the victim's house, barged his way inside, and began his killing spree. Garcia's wife, Sonia Argentina Guzman, and his stepson, Daniel Enrique Lasso, were both killed, along with Diana Velázquez Alvarado, Obdulia Molina Rivera, and Josue Jonathan Cáceres. 5 others surviving. And tonight, Texas Governor Greg Abbott forced to walk back initial comments that the 5 victims, all from Honduras, were in the country illegally. A spokesperson now saying, quote, at least one of the victims may have been in the United States legally, adding, we regret if the information was incorrect and detracted from the important goal of finding and arresting the criminal.
Matt Rivers joins us now. And Matt, there are questions tonight about Governor Abbott drawing attention to the victims' immigration status.
Yeah, Lindsay, many people are still questioning why the governor chose to bring up the victim's immigration status at all, considering authorities say it had absolutely nothing to do with their deaths. The governor's office also saying that it will contribute some of the $80,000 reward now on the table for information leading to the suspect's capture. Lindsay?
Matt Rivers for us. Thanks so much, Matt. Now to a major financial headline, the 3rd big bank to fail this year. Federal regulators seized First Republic before announcing a sale to JP Chase. So what does this mean for customers and for the economy at large? And was it a bailout? Here's ABC's Rebecca Jarvis.
Tonight, First Republic seized by government regulators and sold to the nation's largest bank, JP Chase, after the 2nd biggest bank failure in U.S. history. The president today attempting to reassure Americans the system is sound and this is not a bailout.
Let me be very clear. While depositors are being protected, shareholders are losing their investments. And critically, taxpayers are not the ones that are on the hook.
To get the deal done, the FDIC providing JP Chase with $50 billion in financing, paid for with a deposit insurance pool funded by the banks. JP Chase CEO Jamie Dimon saying in a statement, our government invited us and others to step up, and we did.
This part of the crisis is over. For now, everyone should just take a deep breath.
JP will assume responsibility for all of First Republic's deposits and take over its 84 bank branch locations in 8 states.
Business as usual going forward, so it makes me happy. The last thing I want to do is move banks.
First Republic is the 3rd bank to fail in just 2 months, facing many of the same issues as Silicon Valley Bank, growing quickly during the pandemic tech boom when credit was cheap, but struggling with losses as interest rates began rising rapidly.
3 banks mismanaged the greatest increase in interest rates in 40 years. They were not prepared for this scenario. They were not resilient for this scenario, and they failed as a result.
And let's get right to Rebecca Jarvis. Rebecca, many Americans have their money either in big or small community banks, but either way, their deposits are still insured by the FDIC, correct? Up to $250,000.
They are, Lindsay, and these are unsettling headlines to see 3 major banks going under in the span of 2 months. But ultimately, the takeaway for bank analysts is that this shows the system is equipped to deal with bank failure, that everybody who had their money in one of these failed banks now has access to it. The FDIC, as you say, insures that money up to $250,000. And analysts do not see this as sound, and they don't expect massive contagion from these failed banks, Lindsay.
Well, that's positive to hear. Rebecca Jarvis, our thanks to you. And for more on what all this could mean, I want to welcome Sheila Bair, the former chair of the FDIC, author of the New York Times bestseller Bull by the Horns, as well as Money Tales, a series of books for children about money basics. Sheila, welcome to the show. Thanks so much for joining us. People hear the second largest bank failure in American history. Naturally, they get concerned. You were FDIC chair during the financial crisis back in 2008 and saw firsthand what happens when these banks fail. How concerned are you about veering into a crisis?
I think it's important to keep this in context. You know, we've got a $225 billion bank. It's a $23 trillion banking system. We have over 4,000 banks. The vast majority of those are quite healthy. And so people should not worry. I always say if you're a household, if you're not a financially sophisticated person, you're a household, stay below the insured deposit limits. I say that always, good times, bad, any bank, anywhere, stay below the insured deposit limits. And if you're a large business or a large depositor and have some financial sophistication, understand the bank you're dealing with. There's lots of data out there about bank health. The banks that failed, there were warning signs on these banks for many, many months. So again, the vast majority of banks are fine. People shouldn't worry. I do think households should stay below the insured deposit limits, which the general rule is $250,000 per bank.
The First Republic fire sale was announced overnight before U.S. markets opened for the week. Does this show a knee-jerk tendency to deal with the short-term problem rather than address a long-term solution?
So I don't think so. I think, the FDIC was dealing with a very difficult situation. They had a bank that was failing. There was no doubt about it. And you don't want to put that off. Your losses get bigger and bigger the longer you wait because sick banks, they lose customers, they lose good employees. So it was clearly time to close this bank. They had a very competitive bidding process. JP Morgan Chase won the bid. They are by law required to pursue the resolution of a failed bank that imposes the least cost on the deposit insurance fund, which is an industry-funded reserve that the FDIC has to cover bank failures. So JP Morgan Chase participated in that. They had the best bid. That's the way the process works. JP Morgan Chase, as is typically the case, bid sufficiently so that they wanted to cover both the insured and the uninsured depositors. Bank bidders typically want to do that. Those uninsured depositors can be, very good customers for a bank. And so fortunately for the uninsured in this situation, JP Morgan Chase is paying more to cover their deposits. So it was a good solution. This is what the FDIC does. This is what they're equipped to do.
On Friday, the FDIC released an internal review about Signature Bank and its failure, and the report acknowledged regulators could have done a better job in their oversight. Is the FDIC up to the task?
Yes, I think they are. I read that report and it saddened me a bit because I remember when I came to the FDIC in 2006, it was a somewhat similar situation. There had been a long period of very benign economic activities, strong bank earnings. People had just gotten complacent. The supervisory process was not supported as well as it should have been. We didn't have enough examiners. We'd had deep cutbacks. So I was sad to see that resources are, again, a problem at the FDIC. They need to make sure they have enough examiners, that they pay the examiners so they have good, talented people who know what they're doing in these banks. And this is important. And I think, it was a wake-up call for them. I'm sure they're taking steps even now to staff up more. But I do also want to emphasize, I do not think we have a serious banking crisis. I don't even think we have a crisis. I think we have a situation where interest rates are going up. That's creating challenges in managing interest rate risk. That's a basic thing that any banker should be able to do. There are a few banks out there that have not managed that risk well. and they are failing. But overall, the vast majority of banks are dealing with this. And so, again, I don't think people should be worried.
Our thanks to you. Really helpful conversation.
Sure. Thanks for having me.
Next to Montana, where attorneys for Representative Zoe Zephyr have sued the State House and Speaker and Sergeant-at-Arms, asking a court to allow for Zephyr to return, saying her constituents were being denied their right to adequate representation. Zephyr, a prominent voice for transgender rights, says that she was silenced because she, quote, dared to give voice to the values and needs of transgender people like herself. E. Jean Carroll has concluded her testimony after 3 days on the witness stand in her sexual assault and defamation case against former President Trump. But before Carroll took the stand today, Trump's lawyers called for a mistrial, claiming unfair treatment by the judge. So how did the judge respond and what happens next in the case? Here's ABC senior investigative reporter Aaron Katursky.
Former President Trump was hoping his defamation and battery trial would end today. His attorney asked for a mistrial, complaining of unfair treatment from the judge. The judge, though, wasn't having it. So the former president's accuser, E. Jean Carroll, took the stand for a third day. Carroll claims Trump raped her in the mid-1990s in a dressing room at Bergdorf Goodman. During cross-examination, Trump's lawyer, Joe Tacopina, portrayed her behavior after the alleged assault as out of step with the trauma she says she suffered. He pushed her on why she kept shopping at the department store. Bergdorf's is not a place that I'm afraid to enter, she told the jury. He asked why she didn't burn the dress she wore when Trump allegedly raped her. Her answer, it was a beautiful dress. Tacopina showed the jury this advice column Carroll wrote, urging her readers to file a police report if they were attacked. Asked why she didn't do that herself, Carroll responded, Donald Trump had too much power. I didn't think the police would take me seriously. The defense also suggested Carroll borrowed her rape claim from television. You know, there's a Law and Order episode from 2012 that featured a woman getting raped in the Bergdorf Goodman dressing room, Tacopina asked. I am aware, Carroll replied. Now that it's over. But she denied the episode inspired her to make up a story about Donald Trump.
Aaron Katursky joins us now. And Aaron, with E. Jean Carroll's testimony now concluded, what happens next in this case?
We're going to hear from two women who Carroll says she told about the alleged rape by Donald Trump at the time it allegedly occurred. We're also set to hear from two other women who have accused Trump of sexually assaulting them. And those are claims, Lindsay, that he denies. Lindsay?
Aaron Katursky, our thanks to you. Now to the war in Ukraine and word that an American has died in the fighting. The U.S. is not yet confirming the details. But as Ukraine readies its high-stakes counteroffensive, a new U.S. intelligence report says Russia has already lost 20,000 troops since December. At least 10 U.S. citizen deaths in Ukraine have been officially confirmed by the State Department since the war began last year. The majority of those deaths were of Americans who volunteered to fight alongside Ukrainians, according to officials. Now to the war in Sudan. Tonight, a top UN official says warring generals have agreed to join negotiations, and that may take place in Saudi Arabia. The two sides have extended the humanitarian truce for another 72 hours, even though some tough fighting continues. A U.S. Navy ship arrived in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia from Port Sudan today with Americans and others on board. There have now been 3 U.S.-led convoys that have evacuated nearly 1,000 U.S. citizens, according to the State Department. In France, there's simmering anger over President Macron's plan to raise the retirement age to 64. The frustrations have boiled over on this May Day, France's Labor Day holiday, with hundreds of thousands of protesters taking to the streets nationwide, some resorting to violence and clashing with police. ABC's Britt Clennett is in Paris with the images coming in and a warning they are difficult to see.
Tonight, tensions boiling over in France. Hundreds of thousands taking to the streets across the country, protesting against President Emmanuel Macron's move to raise the retirement age by 2 years to 64. The May Day protests, a traditional day of demonstrations, starting out as peaceful.
We hope that the mobilization will indeed change still the law.
But in Paris, some protesters turning to violence. Disturbing video showing one officer hit by a firecracker. Another seriously injured after he was hit by a Molotov cocktail and caught fire. Officers quickly extinguishing the flames. You can see glass strewn all around me. Riot police still lined up around here. A very surreal scene in central Paris. At least 108 officers were injured and nearly 300 people were arrested nationwide.
Britt Clennett joins us now. Britt, tell us what the streets are like in Paris at this hour.
Well, the streets of Paris are very calm, but the French Prime Minister Elisabeth Borne called today's violence unacceptable. And meanwhile, there's no sign that President Emmanuel Macron is willing to back down and give in to the protesters' demands. Lindsay.
All right, Britt Clennett for us. Thanks so much, Britt. Still much more to get to here on Prime tonight. Coming up, the new developments in the growing legal battle between Governor Ron DeSantis and Disney. But next, in our Prime Focus, Congress promised billions in federal aid to black farmers after decades of discrimination, but many are still waiting. Rachel Scott follows the money in her series, Through the Cracks.
What more do you want to see from USDA?
I want to see USDA get the farmers the relief that we passed through legislation.
Families here in Poland.
Here in Kentucky, no match for the tornado.
From Monterey Park, California, on the ground in Ukraine.
Reporting from Uvalde, Texas.
ABC News Live is right there everywhere.
From the scene of that deadly missile strike in Dnipro, Ukraine.
Reporting from the earthquake in Turkey.
From Charleston, South Carolina, on the 2024 campaign trail.
From Kathmandu, Nepal.
In Truckee, California, covering record snowfall.
Traveling with the president in Mexico City.
Wherever the story.
Here at this airport in Tampa, it's already shut down.
Reporting from the nurses on the picket line.
Reporting from Jerusalem.
Here at 10 Downing Street in London.
Streaming live to you.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is. We're going to take you there.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live. Streaming free everywhere. America's #1 streaming news.
With so much happening these days, it's hard to keep up.
Things change hour by hour, minute by minute.
The historic weather that's now unfolding.
The worries on Wall Street.
We're bringing you the Right Now. Been a nationwide teacher shortage.
The Right Now look at the day ahead.
An alert this morning for dog owners.
And the key takeaways from the biggest stories.
World News Now and America This Morning, America's #1 early morning news.
Today does feel a little different. Early mornings on ABC News Live.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you? Yes.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
Welcome back, everyone. America's population of black farmers has been shrinking for decades now as many face discrimination in getting loans to keep their farms up and running. The Biden administration, however, made a push to provide debt relief to farmers of color. But more than 2 years later, many of the intended recipients are still waiting for relief. So in tonight's Prime Focus, ABC's Rachel Scott takes a look at why black farmers aren't getting the help they need. It's the latest installment of her series, Through the Cracks.
In the rural town of Keysville, Georgia, the sun rises over this 600-acre stretch of land. It's planting season, typically the time to start tending to crops. But on this farm, nothing is operational.
We used to grow soybeans, corn, cotton before we was unable to farm. This is the devastation that has happened to most black farmers.
70-year-old Lucius Abrams spends most of his time looking at things he doesn't have the money to fix. A third-generation farmer who doesn't do much farming anymore.
The motor's gone out in that one over here. And the truck in the back there, the motor's gone out in it too.
Just about everything on this farm has something wrong with it.
I feel like I've been left on Gilligan Island.
Over the last 3 decades, Lucius says he has received letters from the federal government promising to wipe out his debt.
How much debt have you acquired over the years?
With the infant and everything, probably 1.2.
1.2 million?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And have you received any assistance?
No.
Lucius is one of thousands of black farmers across the country who were promised debt relief from the federal government and say they still haven't received anything. Over the last century, black farmers have lost more than 12 million acres of land. In 1920, 14% of all farms were operated by black farmers. But by 2017, that figure had plummeted to 1.7%, just 0.5% of the country's 4.7 million acres of farmland. In 2021, Congress approved $4 billion in loan forgiveness for farmers of color and a program aimed to address historic discrimination by the USDA, which has acknowledged routinely denying loans to farmers of color. But it was stopped in its tracks, halted by a lawsuit from white farmers who claimed they were being excluded because of their race.
To be eligible for this debt relief, you had to be a minority. If you weren't a minority, you were excluded. Now, the problem I have, I'm all for helping minority farmers, all farmers, but our U.S. Constitution forbids discrimination, our government from discriminating against a citizen because of their race. You know, all citizens are equal before the law.
To avoid the legal fight, Democrats rewrote the plan, removing references to race and splitting the relief into two funds.
Look, it was what it was. We had a legal system now dominated by a lot of conservative jurists who would not let that program go forward, and we knew that would put more farmers in peril. And so it's on the USDA now to make sure that they're going to implement this in a way that eligible farmers get the resources they are owed.
Lawmakers like Senator Raphael Warnock, who have been pushing for relief, say time is running out for these farmers to get the money they were promised.
What more do you want to see from USDA?
I want to see USDA get the farmers the relief that we've passed through legislation. It is taking entirely too long. While folks are caught up in bureaucracy and processes, another planting season has come and gone.
My dad bought the property back in 1953, the same year I was born.
Meanwhile, farmers like Lucius have been left in limbo with staggering debt.
And the world is turning their head away. This is a moral issue. I mean, here we in America. You gonna let lawyers put a clause in there where we have no recourse? You let the president sign the order, the Senate, the Congress pass it, and we still can't get no justice?
It's not the first time black farmers were promised relief they didn't receive. In 1999, black farmers sued the USDA for discrimination and what became known as the Pigford cases. It resulted in a $1.2 billion settlement, but confusion around paperwork and deadlines led to thousands of claims being denied.
My name is Evelyn Bryant.
My name is Rod Bradshaw.
My name is Bernice Atchison. I live in Jefferson, Alabama.
Well, the Pickford lawsuit really didn't help because it only paid farmers $50,000.
We own 289 acres of land. We currently own 69 acres.
Bona fide black farmers never got paid, and I'm one of them that never got a dime out of that, and we're still waiting on money 20-some years later.
My Pickford case is still pending to this date.
More than 19,000 distressed farmers have received aid from the relief programs, but the USDA is not tracking loan recipients by race, making it difficult to see the impact.
Can the USDA commit to releasing information on who is getting this money by race?
I think we can agree that, yes, we recognize that there were enough disparities in loan performance among black and brown farmers that we needed to do something. And I'm convinced that race was a good metric by which to make those decisions. But we were sued.
Why not just put the data out there, be transparent, release it by race at some point?
We have decided to focus on following the mandate of the law. Right now, we're focused on implementing it and getting people back farming and participating in programs as fully as they can.
Dr. Dwayne Goldman oversees efforts to address racial disparities at the USDA and acknowledges the distrust.
Do you understand why some black farmers out there could be skeptical?
Absolutely. I've had conversations with Secretary Vilsack and my other colleagues across the department. In these positions, our task is to move forward as boldly as we can and make sure that we do the work that's required.
So bottom line, more work to do on that front.
A lot more work to do on that front, but some promising examples of progress that we're seeing now.
And here goes some water now from page to beer.
Soon after ABC News asked the USDA about Lucius's case, he did receive notice from the department that his debt had been forgiven, relief he's been waiting on for years.
What will that moment be like for you when you're back out here farming on this land?
Exciting, because I love to see things grow. I love to just smell the fresh dirt. This time of the year when you till the dirt, it's a feeling that you can't describe.
Much needed help at long last. Our thanks to Rachel Scott for that. Still much more to get to tonight. Coming up, swept away by a rip current, the scary moments as rescuers trying to pull a man and his young son to safety. From a groundbreaking performer on the Broadway stage to a hit maker on the Billboard charts, Stephanie Mills tells us about her career and who she calls the true love of her life. But next, as celebrities hit the Met Gala red carpet wearing couture gowns and expensive suits, more and more people are deciding against buying new clothes. We take a look at what's fueling the rise in secondhand clothing sales by the numbers.
With so much at stake, so much on the line, more Americans turn here than any other newscast. ABC News World News Tonight with David Muir, America's #1 most watched newscast across all of television.
This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families here in Poland.
At refugee centers
in Putin's Russia.
on the ground in Ukraine.
Close to the front line.
From the capital.
Destructive Cat 4 storm.
You're along I-5.
Boston is in the bullseye.
Let's go.
ABC News Live, America's #1 streaming news. Anytime, anywhere. Streaming 24/7, straight to you for free.
Thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
From America's #1 news comes the all-new ABC News app. Breaking news, incredible video, faster, smarter, and customizable to your interests. If you love being in the know, you're gonna love this. Experience the all-new ABC News app. Download it now.
Brooke Shields, the most photographed woman in the world.
A sexualized child model.
Exploitation.
What happened to her isn't really about her, it's just about women.
I let myself be vulnerable, and this is the first time I've ever spoken about what happened. I thought my one no should have been enough,
When someone like Brooke Shields talks about it, it makes a difference.
I'm amazed that I survived any of it.
With so much happening these days, it's hard to keep up.
Things change hour by hour, minute by minute.
The historic weather that's now unfolding.
The worries on Wall Street.
We're bringing you the Right Now. Been a nationwide teacher shortage.
The Right Now look at the day ahead. An alert this morning for dog owners and the key takeaways from the biggest stories.
World News Now and America This Morning, America's #1 early morning news.
Today does feel a little different. Early mornings on ABC News Live.
You never know what you're going to get on this show. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Yes, Whoopi!
This mic on? Can you hear me out there?
Behind the scenes is always a better show.
Absolutely,
absolutely.
That's what people don't see during the commercial break.
Right, they don't.
What happened?
I had no idea really what I was getting myself into.
That day that we walked out, I treasured that day. I couldn't sit there.
You're doing good, Joy. You're doing good. Oh, yeah, baby.
It was crazy.
Behind the Table. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
13 women opened their doors to the man who would end their lives.
Another body in Boston.
A killer held Boston in a state of fear. It was a crime spree that stumped police for years.
Now, journey deep behind the deadly details.
They had hundreds and hundreds of suspects.
And into Truth and Lies, The Boston Strangler, the new true crime podcast series. Listen now wherever you get your podcasts. And watch Boston Strangler starring Keira Knightley, streaming on Hulu.
This is where the newsmakers come first in the morning to be heard. America's #1 morning show.
How would your mom feel about your relationship with your brother now?
I can't imagine what it feels like to go from $20 billion to $100,000. Yeah. Are you worried about going to jail?
You write that you had low-grade depression. How'd you get out of that?
Wherever the story, ABC's Good Morning America is right there.
Reporting from the earthquake in Turkey, I'm David Muir. Wherever the story, we'll take you there. You're streaming ABC News Live.
Welcome back, everyone. It's been called the Super Bowl of fashion, and it's happening tonight just on the other side of Central Park. You can almost hear the clicking of the cameras as attendees arrive on the red carpet for this year's Met Gala at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. The attention-getting outfits are leaving many to wonder just what this year's big trend will be. But there's another trend that's already sweeping the fashion world. Pre-worn, pre-loved, vintage, call it what you like. Recent reports suggest used clothing is set to outpace fast fashion in sales as more consumers seek environmentally and economically friendly alternatives. Here's a closer look by the numbers. Secondhand clothing sales grew 24% in 2022 to $119 billion, according to a report by ThredUp. The online consignment store found 42% of the market was in North America. The trend is accelerating. Worldwide, the market is expected to grow 127% by 2026 to $218 billion. That's 3 times faster than the overall apparel market. Secondhand clothing is expected to make up to 10% of all clothing sales in the U.S. by the end of 2025, according to insider intelligence estimates. ThredUp also found it's hip to thrift. 59% of first-time secondhand buyers said it gave them bragging rights, and 74% said used apparel is more socially acceptable now than it was 5 years ago. The fastest adopters are Gen Z, who say that they are buying to be more sustainable. Major brands are taking notice. Between 2021 and 2022, brands' adoption of resale grew by more than 300%, a major step for an industry that generates roughly 100 million tons of waste each year. Apparel industry watchers say to truly make an environmental impact, resale will need to displace new production, a step that will require brands and customers to commit to sustainable and long-lasting materials and styles. And we still have much more ahead on Prime tonight. American Airlines pilots vote to authorize a strike. What happens next? And traveling deep into the Florida swamp, uncovering twists and turns along the way, author Dave Barry takes us inside his first new novel in a decade. But first, look at our top trending stories on abcnews.com.
What does it take to be America's #1 news? It takes asking the straightforward, tough questions.
Do you believe that Donald Trump should ever be president again?
How would your mom feel about your relationship with your brother now?
I can't imagine what it feels like to go from $20 billion to $100,000. Yeah. Are you worried about going to jail?
You write that you had low-grade depression. How'd you get out of that?
The news-making interviews.
You said that there were 6 friends. One of them was sick.
Yeah.
Do you have future political aspirations?
Going to the front line.
The search for survivors. How does this war end?
And getting to the heart of the story.
Thank you for being here. We'll be here for the long run.
ABC News, #1 in the morning, the #1 newscast, #1 in daytime talk, Friday nights, Sunday mornings versus the competition, and the #1 streaming news. Thank you for making ABC News America's trusted, straightforward first choice.
With so much happening these days, it's hard to keep up.
Things change hour by hour, minute by minute.
The historic weather that's now unfolding.
The worries on Wall Street.
We're bringing you the Right Now. Been a nationwide teacher shortage.
The Right Now look at the day ahead. An alert this morning for dog owners and the key takeaways from the biggest stories.
World News Now and America This Morning, America's #1 early morning news.
Today does feel a little different. Early mornings on ABC News Live. This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families here in Poland.
At refugee centers
In Putin's Russia.
On the ground in Ukraine.
Close to the front line.
From the capital, destructive Cat 4 storm.
You're along I-5.
Boston is in the bullseye.
Let's go.
ABC News Live, America's #1 streaming news. Anytime, anywhere. Streaming 24/7, straight to you for free.
Thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
13 women opened their doors to the man who would end their lives.
Another body in Boston.
A killer held Boston in a state of fear. It was a crime spree that stumped police for years.
Now, journey deep behind the deadly details.
They had hundreds and hundreds of suspects.
And into Truth and Lies, The Boston Strangler, the new true crime podcast series. Listen now wherever you get your podcasts. And watch Boston Strangler, starring Keira Knightley, streaming on Hulu.
Get ready, America, every Friday.
The hottest trends, styles, and must-have. What's the right stuff to buy right now? I really love that. It's time to buy the right stuff.
Yes!
And save big time, too.
The right stuff.
Fridays on GMA. You're going to love it.
Right now in America, with so much at stake, thank you for making ABC's This Week America's #1 news and politics show on Sunday mornings.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you? Yes.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
The latest in the legal battle between Disney and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. Video captures the moment a father and son are rescued from a rip current, and a legendary rock band announces its final tour. These stories and more in tonight's Rundown.
The fight between Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and the Walt Disney Company has intensified days after Disney filed a federal lawsuit claiming DeSantis was retaliating against the company for opposing what critics call the Don't Say Gay bill. The oversight board DeSantis appointed voted to file its own lawsuit. Central Florida Tourism Oversight Board voting to sue Disney in state court and defend itself against the company's federal lawsuit. Disney's lawsuit requested a judge overturn DeSantis' takeover of the self-governing district. Once controlled by the company, the board is suing to maintain oversight over the district.
No corporation is above the law and the people of this state.
Disney is the parent company of ABC News.
Members of the union representing American Airlines pilots have voted to authorize a strike should contract talks with airlines fail.
But the chances of an actual walkout are considered slim. The airline has already agreed in principle to match the pay rates of other big carriers.
Members of the Allied Pilots Association, the collective bargaining agent for the pilots, held informational pickets at major airports across the country.
A Florida man accused in 4 murders back in 2017 has pled guilty in court. Howell Donaldson III entering a guilty plea for 4 counts of first-degree murder. He'll serve 4 consecutive life sentences to avoid the death penalty. The 4 victims were shot and killed in October and November of 2017 in the Seminole Heights area of Tampa. Donaldson was arrested in late November of that same year. A Good Samaritan in Philadelphia jumped into action to help a young child struck by gunfire. Police say the 3-year-old boy was struck in the cheek on Sunday. Mika Outlaw said she was unloading groceries when she saw the boy's mother yelling and running with her son bleeding from the wound.
I guess it was just the mom instinct.
Outlaw eventually drove the boy and his mother to a nearby fire station to get him help more quickly. The child is in the hospital in critical but stable condition. Florida officials rescued 2 swimmers pulled away by a rip current. Manatee County Sheriff's deputies say the father and son were found off of Anna Maria Island after being pulled away from shore. Video released by the Sheriff's Office shows officials rescuing the 2 on a boat. The Sheriff's Office advised that anyone caught in a rip current should swim parallel to the shore and alert someone they need help.
All I can say is,
Peace out. Aerosmith says peace out. Peace out.
peace out.
Peace out.
Peace out.
Peace out. That's the word from legendary rock group Aerosmith in this video announcement. After 50 years, the band, famous for countless hits like Walk This Way and Dream On, says that its upcoming tour will be its last. The Peace Out tour begins in September in Philadelphia with 40 stops across the U.S. and Canada, including a special hometown show in Boston on New Year's Eve. The tour is scheduled to wrap up with a final show in Montreal in January.
She burst onto the scene in one of the most iconic roles on Broadway. Stephanie Mills catapulted from her role as Dorothy in The Wiz into superstardom, creating a decades-long career in music and now movies. I sat down with the icon for a personal conversation about the high highs and low lows of her iconic career, the void that she's felt in her romantic life, and the fulfillment she's received as a loving mother. Known as the little girl with the big voice, amazing grace. For more than half a century, Grammy-winning icon Stephanie Mills has wowed audiences from the church choir sound to Broadway, but not even lightning, to the Billboard 100.
66 years old, you've been performing for more than half a century. What's the secret sauce for staying power?
Oh my God. Prayer, sleep, not hanging out, not listening to the noise of what people have to say.
Mills' star power was cemented with her role as Dorothy in the original Broadway musical, The Wiz.
When you started out in The Wiz on Broadway, it was really a time we weren't seeing many people of color on Broadway.
And we're still not.
We're still not, true.
They didn't like me as Dorothy. We got terrible reviews, and they said Judy Garland should get up and slap me. But my mother belonged to a huge church in Brooklyn, Cornerstone Baptist Church. Ken Harper, who was the producer of The Wiz, his mother belonged to a church. So they had bus loads that came in. And it wasn't until we did the commercial that the show kicked in, and it lasted for 5 years. I was in it for 5 years.
And 7 Tony Awards, so ultimately...
7 Tony Awards.
Ultimately, people liked it.
Ultimately, they did, yes. The public liked it, yes.
Her vocal power was put in the spotlight with the show's iconic ballad, Home.
Would be nice to be back at home where there's love and...
In the years that followed, Mills went on to release more than a dozen albums, often singing about love, like her chart-topping hit, Never Knew Love Like This Before.
You are my love light, the sun, and I'll never let you go.
But Mills is quick to divulge she's never experienced the kind of love she sings about.
Still to this day.
Never knew love
like this before. You know, I'm from a man. I've never experienced that kind of love, the love that I sing about.
Because you do a good job at convincing us that you
That's because I have so much love inside of me. But I've never experienced that kind of love from a man. Never.
Hey, come dance with your mama. Come on.
The true love of her life is her son, Farad.
What has Farad taught you about you?
Oh my God. How compassionate I am and how much I love to love. You know, there's no love like a child's love.
What would you like the world to know about people with Down syndrome?
Oh, that they can do anything. In the right environment, take them everywhere. He travels with me. He's an A student. He's written a book. He's working on his second one that's coming out this year. Don't limit them. They're not handicapped. They just need extra special love and more patience.
Despite all her success, including a career that's reached dizzying heights, Mills admits life in the spotlight can induce heartbreaking lows.
The road hasn't always been yellow. I take it all in, and I'm glad and thankful that I've survived, because there could have been a time where I couldn't have survived.
When you mentioned that there was a time maybe you couldn't survive, did you ever get to a low where...
Absolutely. Absolutely, where I didn't want to be around anymore. I didn't like the industry. Yeah, absolutely.
What got you to that, and then what got you out of it?
The height of my career, I was the most unhappy. Because when you're that popular and everybody's on you and putting things in your head and you should do this and everyone's trying to change you, it makes you sad, because it makes you feel like you're not good enough as you are. And the hardest thing for me as an artist, I don't know about anybody else, is to find out that you're just a dollar. You're just a dollar sign to people, that they really don't really care about you.
The 66-year-old is now touring across the country and acting in her first feature film, which debuted in Lifetime last month.
You know nothing about me and Tasha, or what went on between us.
I do know that this tastes nothing like hers.
Talk to us about that transition. Is it a different skill altogether when you're going from Broadway to singing to a movie?
Not really, because I think my Broadway training helped me with the role they finally gave me at 66, a leading role, and I love Lifetime. I watch Lifetime all the time, and it's called Pride. I play the part of Birdie, a 60-year-old woman, so I'm playing somebody younger than me.
What would you like to see next? I mean, you've done quite a lot.
I have no expectations. I'm just enjoying what's happening. I want to be present. Sometimes we as artists we're not present. We're always looking for the next thing. I'm not. I'm enjoying this.
What would you like your legacy to be?
I would like it to be that I gave love, I gave understanding, and that I was proud of who I was and who I am.
Pride, a 7 Deadly Sins story, premiered on April 8th. You can still watch it on the Lifetime website and app and on demand through your cable provider. Our thanks to Stephanie Mills for that conversation. And we are counting down the days to Coronation. This coming weekend, Charles is officially crowned King of England, and we're learning new details about the ceremony, including who's going to be there and how much the festivities will cost. ABC's James Longman has more.
A mixed reception to a new moment in the coronation of King Charles and Queen Camilla. All Britons will be called on to swear allegiance to the King. The palace sees this as a modern update, as usually only aristocrats present at the ceremony do this. But swearing allegiance to Charles and his successors technically also means Prince Andrew, something one pressure group calls offensive and tone-deaf. The cost of the coronation is also raising some eyebrows. It's reportedly going to cost an estimated $125 million to taxpayers. Poor optics in a cost of living crisis. Among the 2,000 guests inside Westminster Abbey this Saturday, First Lady Jill Biden, other European royals, foreign dignitaries and public servants will be recognised for their work. Prince Harry will also be there, but he'll leave shortly after to get back to his family in California.
It's going to be a very quick trip for Prince Harry, maybe even just 24 hours in the UK, as he flies in, attends that coronation ceremony, skips everything else afterwards and gets on a plane straight back to LA, where he hopes to be back with Archie for his 6th birthday.
Our thanks to James Longman. Our next guest's new book is taking you deep into the Florida swamp for a story full of more twists and turns than a snake slithering away from an alligator. Joining us now is Pulitzer Prize-winning humor columnist, best-selling author, and real-life Florida man Dave Barry. Swamp Story, first novel in 10 years. Why did you decide to make a comeback with this?
It just seemed like a good time for a Florida story. Everybody's sort of interested in Florida these days, and people think Florida is weird and crazy, and this book will probably not change anybody's mind on that score. But I always tell people, because we have a reputation now, Florida, for being just insane and stupid and inappropriate. And I say,
is all that true?
Well, that's my point. There are 21 million people in the state of Florida. Is it fair to judge all of us just because of the actions of 19 million people?
That's very funny. All right, so no shortage of characters here, including the Everglades melon monster. Tell us about that character, and where do you come up with these people?
Well, the Everglades melon monster, there's these guys in my book who want to create a cryptid, a monster like Bigfoot and the Yeti. And there is one already in the Everglades. And I originally got the idea from it's called the skunk ape. There's this legend that there's this thing out there. And in the middle of the Everglades on Route 41, which connects Miami and Tampa, there's this little shack that's called the Skunk Ape Research Headquarters, which is really just they sell T-shirts and beer, basically. But that's, anyway, so the guys in this book are jealous of the success of the Skunk Ape Research Headquarters and decide to create the Everglades melon monster, and they do that by getting a guy, a drunk ex-newspaper man, based on me. I'm not a drunk, but I am an ex-newspaper man. Well, I do. And getting him to wear a Dora the Explorer hat and then filming him walking around the Everglades. That's their plan. It doesn't go well.
Who is this book for?
Anybody with $27. That's my target audience. Or if people prefer, they could just mail me money directly. No, it's definitely not. I know you wrote a children's book. You wrote more than one children's book.
Yes.
Your audience is not my audience.
Yes,
Do not let a child
overset, right?
do not let a child get hold of this book. I would say it's for adults who are grown-ups, but not necessarily mature.
So you mix a lot of pop culture, social media. You have a TikToker, a reality star. Why did you decide to include those mediums?
I have a 23-year-old daughter, and she's a very intelligent young woman and well-educated, and but she looks at TikTok. You know, she would show me what's going on, and I don't know if you've ever done this. TikTok, it was invented by the Chinese government as a way to prevent us from ever getting anything done over here.
Yeah.
They're over there making stuff, and we're over here going, oh man, look at that dog. Oh, is that the Pope? Where do you get that much mayonnaise? You know, it's like it's random things, but you know, like you put it on, like, you know, in the morning with your coffee, and next thing you know, it's 2 o'clock the following day, and you're still sitting there, you know.
You write so many different genres, from graphic novels, fiction, nonfiction. What's next? And what do you enjoy the most?
Well, when I have a good story, when I've figured out a plot, which is the hard part, I love writing fiction because then I don't have to just constantly be thinking of jokes. Although I try to make it funny, I can kind of free to actually write the story. I don't know. I like writing everything. That's why I keep doing different things. Sooner or later, I'll get it right.
You're known for your year in review with the Washington Post of 2022. You said it could have been worse. Now, of course, we're almost at the halfway point of 2023. Any early predictions for what you might say about this year?
Well, I've been working at this year, and it's like every year I think we can't. Things got to turn around. Things.
We've all been saying that for like 3 years.
We have, right? And it does. I don't know. I don't want to get everybody depressed here, but it's not getting better.
Oh no. I hope that's not going to be the title of 2024.
No.
Or 2023, I should say. All right. Well, I thank you so much for coming on. I want to let our viewers know that you can buy Dave Barry's book, Swamp Story, anywhere books are sold starting tomorrow. And that is our show for this hour. I'm Lindsay Davis. Stay tuned to ABC News Live for more context and analysis of the day's top stories. Thanks so much for streaming with us. Coming up in the next hour, the Writers Guild could go on strike at midnight. The demands they're making as the union tries to negotiate a new contract. Plus, she said her 2 children were kidnapped, but a jury decided it was all a lie. The viral video sparked a criminal investigation.
This is ABC News Live Prime.
Thanks so much for streaming with us.
Live reporting, breaking news, exclusives, award-winning, powerful, eye-opening. ABC News Live Prime with Lindsay Davis. Streaming weeknights. Right now in America, with so much at stake, thank you for making ABC's This Week America's #1 news and politics show on Sunday mornings. This is where the newsmakers come first in the morning to be heard. America's #1 morning show.
How would your mom feel about your relationship with your brother now?
I can't imagine what it feels like to go from $20 billion to $100,000.
Yeah.
Are you worried about going to jail?
You write that you had low-grade depression. How'd you get out of that?
Wherever the story, ABC's Good Morning America is right there.
This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families here in Poland.
At refugee centers.
In Putin's Russia.
On the ground in Ukraine.
Close to the front line.
From the capital.
Destructive Cat 4 storm.
You're along I-5. Boston is in the bullseye.
Let's go.
ABC News Live, America's #1 streaming news. Anytime, anywhere. Streaming 24/7, straight to you for free.
Thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
You never know what you're going to get on this show. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Yes, Whoopi!
Is this mic on? Can you hear me out there?
Behind the scenes is always a better show.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's what people don't see during the commercial break.
Right, they don't.
What happened?
I had no idea really what I was getting myself into.
That day that we walked out, I treasure that day. I couldn't sit there.
You're doing good, Joy. You're doing good.
Oh, yeah, baby.
It was crazy. Behind the Table. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you?
How cute.
Yes.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
13 women opened their doors to the man who would end their lives.
Another body in Boston.
A killer held Boston in a state of fear. It was a crime spree that stumped police for years.
Now, journey deep behind the deadly details.
They had hundreds and hundreds of suspects.
And into Truth and Lies, The Boston Strangler, the new true crime podcast series. Listen now wherever you get your podcasts. And watch Boston Strangler, starring Keira Knightley, streaming on Hulu.
Reporting from Monterey Park, California, I'm Robin Roberts. Wherever the story is, we're going to take you there. You're streaming ABC News Live.
Hi there, I'm Lindsay Davis. Thanks so much for streaming with us. We're monitoring several developments here at ABC News at this hour. The Writers Guild is set to go on strike at midnight, shutting down nearly all movie and TV production, including late-night TV. The union and major studios are hoping to reach a deal on a new contract before the deadline. The Writers Guild is asking for $600 million in wage increases, much of it tied to streaming services. Studios say they're under pressure to cut costs and make streaming more profitable. Tonight, U.S. Marshals are leading an urgent search for 2 escaped inmates in Farmville, Virginia, more than 60 miles west of Richmond. The suspects have been on the run for more than a day. One of them charged in connection with the murder of a deputy in North Carolina. Authorities say they broke out separately yesterday by tampering with the lock on the rear exit door of the jail. Ed Sheeran gave a mini performance during the copyright trial against him here in New York, and for a second time, he sang and played the guitar for the jury, this time presenting a mashup of his song Thinking Out Loud and Marvin Gaye's Let's Get It On, trying to show how many songs share a common chord progression. He testified he did not copy anything from Marvin Gaye. Next to the major deadly dust storm in the Midwest and the severe weather making its way across the country. Zero visibility for drivers in Illinois as the dust storm rolled in. It happened earlier today on I-55, about 25 miles south of Springfield. At least 30 people were transported to a local hospital, and up to 80 vehicles were involved in the crash, including 2 semi-trucks that caught fire. Faith Abube has more.
Tonight, the deadly pileup in the Midwest, claiming at least 6 lives. A major dust storm creating zero visibility conditions on I-55 south of Springfield, Illinois. Between 40 to 60 passenger cars and about 30 commercial vehicles crashing on the highway.
At this time, we have reports of more than 30 people being transported to multiple area hospitals.
The interstate shut down, traffic backed up for miles. The swirling dust caused by high winds kicking up dirt from fields.
Nothing in my 24-year career that I can recall having something as severe as this.
It's all part of the same storm system that spawned this tornado hundreds of miles away in Virginia Beach Sunday. Families now cleaning up major damage. And over here, a large tree landing on that rooftop. It's one of at least 115 properties that city officials say suffered extensive damage from the strong winds from the EF3 tornado. That twister packing winds up to 145 miles an hour. The city declaring a state of emergency.
I ran in and got everybody in the closet and just hoped and prayed that our house was going to survive something like that.
That's a tornado.
The storms, part of a wild weekend up and down the East Coast. Cars flipping over in Palm Beach County, Florida. This driver helpless as the storm overtakes his vehicle. As the storms moved north, more than 5 inches of torrential rain in spots, inundating these cars in New York City.
Our thanks to Faith for that. Now to the major financial headline. The third big bank to fail this year. Federal regulators seized First Republic before selling it to J.P. Morgan Chase. And officials may be urging calm, but is there cause for concern? Rebecca Jarvis has the details.
Tonight, First Republic seized by government regulators and sold to the nation's largest bank, JP Chase, after the second biggest bank failure in U.S. history. The president today attempting to reassure Americans the system is sound and this is not a bailout.
Let me be very clear. While depositors are being protected, shareholders are losing their investments. And critically, taxpayers are not the ones that are on the hook.
To get the deal done, the FDIC providing JP Chase with $50 billion in financing, paid for with a deposit insurance pool funded by the banks. JP Chase CEO Jamie Dimon saying in a statement, "Our government invited us and others to step up, and we did."
This part of the crisis is over. For now, everyone should just take a deep breath.
JP will assume responsibility for all of First Republic's deposits and take over its 84 bank branch locations in 8 states.
Business as usual going forward, so it makes me happy. The last thing I want to do is move banks.
First Republic is the third bank to fail in just 2 months, facing many of the same issues as Silicon Valley Bank, growing quickly during the pandemic tech boom when credit was cheap, but struggling with losses as interest rates began rising rapidly.
3 banks mismanaged the greatest increase in interest rates in 40 years. They were not prepared for this scenario. They were not resilient for this scenario, and they failed as a result.
Our thanks to Rebecca for that. Next tonight, the desperate manhunt for the suspect who killed 5 of his neighbors in Cleveland, Texas. The reward now stands at $80,000, but investigators say the trail has gone cold. There are 5 people dead, including at least a 9-year-old little boy. There are new details about the suspect tonight, multiple deportations and jailed on a DUI charge. So how did he get an assault-style weapon? ABC's Matt Rivers is on the scene.
Tonight, hundreds of officers on the ground looking for this man, who authorities say shot and killed 5 neighbors after an argument, including a mother and her 9-year-old son.
We're asking everyone for your help till we can bring this suspect, or this monster, I will call him, to justice.
Suspect Francisco Oropesa is a Mexican national. A source familiar with the investigation telling ABC News that he was deported 4 separate times from the U.S. and served jail time for a DWI in 2012. The shooting unfolding late Friday night in Cleveland, north of Houston. Authorities say Oropesa was outside his house firing an AR-15 for fun. His next-door neighbor, Wilson Garcia, says he and others asked him to stop because it scared his baby. But instead of putting his weapon down, authorities say Oropesa stormed out of his yard, came here to the victim's house, barged his way inside, and began his killing spree. Garcia's wife, Sonia Argentina Guzman, and his stepson, Daniel Enrique Lasso, were both killed, along with Diana Velázquez Alvarado, Obdulia Molina Rivera, and Josue Jonathan Cázares. 5 others surviving. And tonight, Texas Governor Greg Abbott forced to walk back initial comments that the 5 victims, all from Honduras, were in the country illegally. A spokesperson now saying, quote, "At least one of the victims may have been in the United States legally," adding, "We regret if the information was incorrect and detracted from the important goal of finding and arresting the criminal."
Our thanks to Matt for that. Now to the war in Ukraine and word that an American has died in the fighting. The U.S. is not yet confirming those details. But as Ukraine readies its high-stakes counteroffensive, a new U.S. intelligence report says Russia has already lost 20,000 troops since December. And the head of the Russian mercenary force, the Wagner Group, is threatening to pull out of the fight. ABC's Marcus Moore is in Ukraine.
Russia tonight launching a deadly new missile barrage across Ukraine. Video circulating online showing a massive explosion. Russia claiming it hit an ammunition depot, but Ukraine disputing that, adding their air defenses intercepted 15 of 18 incoming cruise missiles overnight. Some that got through hitting near the city of Pavlohrad, leveling homes, killing 2 people and injuring dozens more. In Russian-controlled Crimea, a governor there blaming Ukraine for this fuel depot attack. But some of the fiercest fighting still in and around Bakhmut. The White House today claiming 20,000 Russian soldiers have been killed since the Kremlin's winter offensive started in December. And tonight, the U.S. confirming another American has been killed in the fighting. The State Department providing no further details on when or how the American died.
Lindsay, also tonight, a top Ukrainian official says that Russia may be changing its tactics with missile strikes, now targeting apartment blocks, hoping to provoke Ukraine into launching its counteroffensive sooner than planned. President Zelensky, meanwhile, says that the counteroffensive, the preparations are complete, and, quote, the main battles are coming soon. Lindsay.
Marcus Moore, thanks to you. You can't always believe what you see, of course, on social media, and a so-called mom influencer with millions of followers is paying the price for her lies. She was found guilty of falsely accusing a couple of kidnapping her children. ABC's Eva Pilgrim has this story.
Monday of this week, my children were the targets of attempted kidnap.
It is a kidnapping that never happened. Now, Kathleen Sorensen, a mother of two and social media influencer, has been found guilty by a California jury of making a false report, accused of lying about an attempted kidnapping of her two children.
This is hard for me. I'm not ready to share this story.
Sorensen reported an attempted kidnapping to police in December 2020 and then posted this Instagram video.
I want to share that story with you in an effort to raise awareness as to what signs to look for, and to just encourage parents to be more aware of their surroundings.
That video going viral, viewed more than 4 million times. The 31-year-old eventually falsely claiming this couple seen in this surveillance video tried to take her children in the parking lot outside of a Bay Area Michaels store and then followed them around inside the store. But that's not what happened. The couple, Sadie and Eddie Martinez, came forward after seeing themselves in this photo to deny the claims.
She wanted a stronger following. She was looking for, content for her fame and her income, and at our expense.
Prosecutors say they determined Sorensen lied about the attempted kidnapping after speaking to the couple and looking at the store security video. Sorensen herself eventually acknowledging there was no attempted kidnapping, but her attorney arguing she did not intentionally lie to police.
My client testified under oath at trial and maintains that there was no kidnapping on December 7th. She misperceived and misunderstood a series of random events which were occurring around her and made a honest report to the police on December 7th.
Instead, her attorney saying now, after seeing everything, the video and statements about what happened that day, Sorensen realizes she made a mistake.
I don't think she had any understanding of how this would spread and the impact it would cause.
Thanks to Eva for that. It is fashion's biggest night. The stars came out for the Met Gala with this year's theme honoring prolific late designer Karl Lagerfeld. ABC's Rihanna Nally has more from the red carpet.
Hey, we are here at fashion's biggest night out, the Metropolitan Museum of Art's Met Gala. This year's theme in honor of Karl Lagerfeld, of course, the German designer who was known for revitalizing Chanel, the modern day Chanel, and also Fendi as well. He passed away in 2019, but tonight is all about honoring him. And we saw it all throughout the night in all of the fashions. The celebrities really came out to play. This year's co-chairs, Penelope Cruz, Dua Lipa, Michaela Cohen, and Roger Federer. But the person truly in charge, of course, is Anna Wintour. She is the editor-in-chief of American Vogue magazine, and she is in charge of every single detail. We didn't even know the guest list until earlier tonight. It is top secret. There are no cameras allowed inside the event as well. Celebrities aren't even allowed to take photos. That's why we always see those celebrity selfies in the bathrooms, because they're not allowed to take pictures inside the event. But she is also in charge of who comes. But for all of us watching, it's all about the fashion. Lindsay?
And you're looking very fashionable there, Rhiannon. Thank you. Still much more to get to here on Prime. Coming up, the path to the crown as King Charles prepares for his official coronation. We look at the moments that brought him to this historic day. But next, the leader of ISIS is reportedly killed in Turkey. What officials there are saying about the mission to take him down.
Whenever news breaks,
the crushing families here in Poland.
Here in Kentucky, no match for the tornado.
From Monterey Park, California, on the ground in Ukraine.
Reporting from Uvalde, Texas.
ABC News Live is right there everywhere.
From the scene of that deadly missile strike in Dnipro, Ukraine.
Reporting from the earthquake in Turkey.
From Charleston, South Carolina, on the 2024 campaign trail.
From Kathmandu, Nepal.
Truckee, California, covering record snowfall.
Traveling with the president in Mexico City.
Wherever the story,
here at this airport in Tampa, it's already shut down.
Reporting from the nurses on the picket line.
Reporting from Jerusalem.
Here at 10 Downing Street in London.
Streaming live to you.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is, we're going to take you there.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live. Streaming free everywhere. America's #1 streaming news.
Bring them on. If only there was a place in the morning to start my day. With a smile, somewhere to help me get in the know. A place as spectacular as, well, me.
I think we might know a place, right, guys?
Bring your friends. Oh, wait, there is.
Good morning, America.
GMA, 7A, every day. Boom, boom, boom.
Good morning, Michael.
Good morning, Robin. Good morning, America. How are you?
Boom. Now that's how you start your day, people.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you? Yes.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
Reporting from the scene of the massive earthquake along the Turkey-Syria border, I'm James Longman. Wherever the story is, we'll take you there. We're streaming ABC News Live.
Welcome back. We're tracking several headlines around the world. In Turkey, President Erdogan announced that Turkish intelligence forces have killed the leader of ISIS in Syria in a strike that was conducted over the weekend. President Erdogan said their intelligence forces have been following the ISIS leader for a long time and that they will continue their fight against the terrorist group. Turkish voters head to the polls in 2 weeks, where Erdogan is up for re-election. To Mexico, where at least 18 people have died tragically when a bus flipped off of a highway and plummeted nearly 50 feet down a ravine. At least 47 people are being treated for injuries. Local authorities say the group was on vacation traveling from a small beach town north of Puerto Vallarta. And to France, where hundreds of thousands of protesters hit the streets today across the country, taking part in May Day demonstrations. Protesters are still fighting back against President Emmanuel Macron's decision to push through a referendum to increase the retirement age from 62 to 64. More than 100 police officers have been injured, including one that was set on fire after a Molotov cocktail was thrown into a group of riot police. Officials say nearly 300 people have been arrested as France's largest union says that they will continue to fight the reforms. King Charles's coronation is Saturday, and we're looking at his lifelong journey to this historic event, including an important royal ceremony that happened more than 50 years ago. Our Maggie Ruley has the story tonight from Wales.
On the banks of the Menai Strait sits Carnarvon Castle, a 700-year-old medieval fortress rich in Welsh history and the setting of one of the most pivotal moments in King Charles's life.
And the Prince, bareheaded in the uniform of the Royal Regiment of Wales.
It was here in 1969 that a 20-year-old Prince Charles officially took up his role as the Prince of Wales, swearing allegiance to his mother and the Welsh people in their native language. To prepare him for this role, the Queen sent Charles to study at a Welsh university for a semester, where he spent several weeks taking an intensive language course.
A
storyline featured on the hit Netflix show The Crown.
I can't ever be a son of Wales, but I am working on the Welsh-speaking part. Good.
As Prince of Wales, I think it's been very important to him to forge a relationship with the people of Wales that they feel is very much on their own terms. It seems to me that there is very much a kind of harmonious relationship there that he managed to establish throughout his tenure as Prince of Wales.
These recently unearthed photos showing the prince preparing for his new role in a photo shoot at Windsor Castle before the official ceremony.
As they go their way now.
But behind the pomp and circumstance, tensions had been mounting.
There are close to 6,000 police and soldiers at Carnarvon.
Police receiving reports Welsh nationalists who opposed the prince were plotting to kill him at his investiture, with threats of snipers along the procession route and even a bomb explosion that killed 2 nationalists.
2 extremists were killed early today, 30 miles from Carnarvon, and their homemade bomb exploded before they set it.
Now, 54 years later, Charles finds himself in another high-pressure moment, facing growing public scrutiny.
The coronation will be by far the biggest event that he has been the focal point of. But in many ways, that preparation for that ceremony at Carnarvon Castle in 1969, with him being invested with the insignia of the position, the huge crowds that were there, the protests that were held in the run-up to it, the people lining the streets, in many ways that was a mini preparation for what we will see at the coronation.
Our thanks to Maggie for that. Still to come, James Brolin's larger-than-life presence has captivated audiences for 5 decades. The sweet new role he's now taking on.
13 women opened their doors to the man who would end their lives.
Another body in Boston.
A killer held Boston in a state of fear. It was a crime spree that stumped police for years.
Now, journey deep behind the deadly details.
They had hundreds and hundreds of suspects.
And into Truth and Lies, The Boston Strangler, the new true crime podcast series. Listen now wherever you get your podcasts. And watch Boston Strangler, starring Keira Knightley, streaming on Hulu.
With so much at stake, so much on the line, more Americans turn here than any other newscast. ABC News World News Tonight with David Muir, America's #1 most watched newscast across all of television. Right now in America, with so much at stake, thank you for making ABC's This Week America's #1 news and politics show on Sunday mornings.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you? Yes.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do? Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
James Brolin has been captivating audiences for more than 5 decades as an actor and filmmaker. Now he's bringing his voice to the small screen as the narrator of Netflix hit series Sweet Tooth, which is based on a comic about a viral pandemic that yields a new hybrid special that is part animal, part human. Let's take a look.
They need us.
We'll get them back.
We're running out of time. Anyone can be next.
Captivating stuff there. Diane Macedo sat down with the Golden Globe and Emmy-winning actor to discuss his role as the narrator of Sweet Tooth as he sets the mood for each episode, providing insight into the characters and world of the show.
I'll find you. Those were the last 3 words I said to you. Then life and the end of the world. Had other ideas.
Jim, thanks so much for being on today.
Thank you.
It's so nice to meet you. I want to talk about Sweet Tooth a little bit.
Yeah.
You're heading into season 2 now. And this series has been so incredibly well received. What is it you think about it that's resonating with audiences in the way that it is?
Well, now with the parallel with the pandemic, you know, of course, this was way before the pandemic that this was written and even bought by the Downeys and developed in 2012. And now we've got such a simile in a way. I mean, we don't have hybrid kids or anything like that, but we have a lot of anger, we have a lot of death, we have a lot of attention to who we love and why.
The cure, it requires a somewhat unconventional ingredient.
I'm not afraid of you.
It just resonated with the audience from the time the second show aired. It was #1 in the world for a straight month.
What did you think when you read the script and you thought, oh, wow,
I never
this
read
is about...
it.
You never read it?
No, I never read it. No, the Downeys said, you're doing this, I'm sorry, that's all there is to it, please, and work out the deal with Warner Brothers. And then nobody would let me read anything except my dialogue the night before I'd recorded. so that I wouldn't spill the beans.
Do you think they were right about that?
I don't know. I don't think so. You know, every once in a while somebody's bound to slip on something, but they weren't taking any chances. You know, in the days of the pandemic, when they were first doing post on it, they would ship me. Nobody was really allowed on the lot. Nobody was allowed together in Warner Brothers Sound. So they ship a box on a tripod. I open it up. There's a screen there, headphones, a Neumann mic, and I would be talking to the Warner Brothers Sound department and the director in New Zealand, telling me, okay, let's try it another way. Let's do this. Let's do that.
Well, Gus got to walk in the footsteps of the woman who brought him into this world. Dr. Singh got one step closer to finding the answers he so desperately craved.
Thank you, Gus. You helped me a great deal today.
The first season of Sweet Tooth, we were introduced to these human-animal hybrids, deadly, world-ravaging diseases. What's going on for season 2?
Oh, I have no idea.
Or have they again not let you look at anything?
No.
They really don't trust
No,
you.
No, they don't. Yeah, maybe a while before we find out. But, yeah.
The series deals with a lot of heavy themes. When you're narrating something like that, trying to balance all of those kind of heavy, darker moments with more whimsical moments, how do you approach that? And what do you think about the way the series has handled that so far?
Well, first of all, you know, when you do your readings, you do it every which way with every thought. And even the director, at least in this situation, doesn't quite know what direction he wants to go in. But I do see the film that I'm narrating over.
When it comes to those you love, what lengths are you willing to go to protect them?
It may only be 20 seconds long, you know. But in the end, I think just in the face of that pandemic and the one we've just went through, with the loss of lives, with the things that we had to face, with, let's say in the show, losing your home and being chased cross country by people that want to do you in. And in the end, those you love and those who love you and friends are really what's important to all of us.
What do you hope people take away from the series?
I'd like to take away from this some more voiceover stuff. I have 5 films in development to produce and direct. And that's my real big goal right now, coming out of the pandemic, is to see some more pictures made, and maybe we're back in the theaters again, and all of that. But I want to be part of it. I still have stuff to do. I'm not sure what, but I still have stuff to do.
Okay, well, looking forward to seeing more. Looking forward to Sweet Tooth. Love what you've done with this project. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Diane.
Our thanks to Diane Macedo and James Brolin for that. Season 2 of Sweet Tooth is now streaming on Netflix. And that is our show for tonight. I'm Lindsay Davis. ABC News Live is here for you all night with the latest news, context, and analysis. You can always find us on Hulu, Roku, the ABC News app, and of course, on abcnews.com. Have a great night.
Women opened their doors to the man who would end